Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Technology is wonderful until it turns against you. So, let me tell you a incident because this is not a statement that I'm making, but it's a recent experience from yesterday's. So, for the talk, while I was side down, I was neither philosophical about like security, surveillance, and the overpriced coffee that I was holding. And as I was strolling through the airport, my eyes landed on a very luxury display of watches. So the luxury watch bouquet. So I gazed then, and I was thinking a mischievous, no, the thought crept into my mind that what if I have access to all these watches? So the overly optimist person inside me said, "You must have access to all these watches and go free." And as I thought that, before I played, I heard somebody saying, "Ma'am, please sit aside." I turned around to see the two security officers approaching me, looking suspicious. And I got scared. The first thought that came into my mind was, did I plan it too loudly? Like, take this too loudly? Is somebody watching? And then they were coming towards me. The cybersecurity expert inside me was telling, yes, what George Orwell mentioned in his book in 1984 is the answer to it. Because in year 1949, when he published his book, he said that he suspected that by this year, Big Brother will be watching you. And not only watching you, like what you did, but what you intend to do, what you take, what you are planning will be predicted by tools I tell you all. But once they approached me, I was really answered. I just wanted to say I was maybe admiring the craftsmanship, and the security officers told me, "Nan, please set aside because you are blocking the path." Oh. So, yes, that is where we today are, and that is what my topic for the talk is with security or surveillance. Because yes, as a human being, I want to feel safe. That is a fundamental requirement, but I do not want to be watched. I want that I should be protected, but I do not want to be controlled. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the age of protective surveillance, where your actions are not just be watched, they are predicted. In 2024, we had a report say that the AI surveillance systems in the airports, they're 83% correct when they predict the pre-criminal intent. So we used to say as cybersecurity professionals that think before you click. But now the scenario is that think before you think. Because maybe the the cameras, the microprocessors are looking at your micro expressions. Maybe you held your gaze at something for a second too longer. Maybe you did something which was not required to be done. Maybe your background, your history on your mobiles gave away the intent that you might have carried out in future. So this is the age of predictive surveillance. Next case. So when it comes to security and surveillance, the dilemma like which path is required and what is the life and living them is always present there. So it is a battle between safety and freedom. So this is where we are standing because imagine a world where you are being monitored 24/7, where every action you place are the monitored and you are keep follow on the remote security. There are cases that please do this, and the cases are in bright light. And secondly, imagine a world where nothing is being monitored, where the cyber criminals as well as the state actors are not being monitored for what they're doing. We would not support either of them. We require a fine balance of both of them. So this is the dilemma that we as users, as professionals, as future leaders are facing in today's world. A battle between safety and data. What is the solution for that? So before going to the solution, let us understand the good, the bad, and the dangerous. The good about the secure or the service is these take security that protects. So if you have a security which magnifies your safety, which prioritize your detection, then it is about security and it is true because the CCTV surveillance cameras they have reduced crimes to a very large extent. So good security is that it is protected, but the bad security is the overreach of security. The surveillance is watching you on the name of security, wherein the line between the privacy and safety plus. So the messages that you are sending to somebody, the chat that you are doing, the emails that you are corresponding, everything comes under a watchful eye and are the monitor for the guy. And the dangerous thing is of all is a tie where the word is full of control. So when the surveillance starts controlling our life, the way it started controlling my thought process while seeing those security officers is the time when you are not able to behave freely as the human being that you're supposed to because you know that you are being watched. You cannot be as free even in your thoughts, even about the actions. So that is the dangerous part of this dilemma that we are facing today as a as I don't say nation, but as a community as a whole. Next piece. So just allow you take divide to your digital footprints. So morning when you wake up, you have an alarm set on your smartphone. You snooze it or you stop this. Now the smartphone knows that yes, you are awake. And then you open up your checking boxes or maybe you go to Instagram. The algorithm behind knows that what are your preferences. So that I woke up. So what is the content that can keep you engaged? And that is profiling you. And what is who maybe the messages are tend to, accurate, protect, encrypted these days. But the metadata, who are you talking to? When are you talking to? For what duration you are talking to is all be monitored. So your digital footprint is what you are allowing them to say. And then you go to check your smart watch monitors the steps that you do, your activity, and maybe the data is being sent to the insurance companies where it how much premium should be charged from you is be decided based on your physical activities, from the health that you are, putting up, or the effort that you are making to upkeep your health. Then you take your car, the smart car, which is connected to all your smartphones. And again, your driving habits, with whom you are driving, what your preferences are, the driving style. That is again monitored, and still the data is being sent to the insurance companies or any state actors. Because we don't know what is behind, what is done with the data behind our front end. And then you go for shopping and you stand in front of a store and you linger a second too long in front of the store and somebody walks up to you. They will not walk up to you because you are not being confronted for blocking the path here. But your preferences are being not noted and all the advertisements, all the offers you would take will be defined by actions that you are taking and by the digital footprints that you are making in the life in a daily day. So think before you click still applies because the basics still applies, but also your behavioral patterns is what is being the monitored at this level. So what footprints you are giving to whom you are giving, are you obedient or are you not, is what it question that I need to you when you are using your smart devices next weeks. So we are in a place that choice is an illusion because stepping away from technology is not the answer. Mitigating surveillance is not the answer, but regulating it is the solution. So, with this data and very short, the kind of engagement that we have with the technology cannot be untouched and it should not be unlearned. But the choice that you make, like how much privacy are you uh, able, willing to give it to these data hackers should lie with you, which is an illusion. I say this because for you, that making that choice will not be easy. It is not easy and should not be easy, but it should be a conscious call. So that call has to be taken by you when you are doing any online activity because the spying balance, it means security at surveillance is to be maintained at any cost. Next speaks. So the singularity is near. This is a famous book which says it will continue until the entire universe is at fingertips. I did give you just a small idea to where we are. So the quantum computing, the power of quantum computing today, when it converges with AI, it is giving you challenges which are unprecedented. So those challenges are already defining that the singularity is near the human brain intelligence had been matched by AI. So this space is near. But what are we supposed to do? Next space. So the solutions are very simple, but not so easy. First is the political battle. The political battle a nation will have to fight is one. As a nation will have to decide that the regulations and the government governance policies around the machines and the usage of machines have to be formulated in a way that we can have a fine line between privacy and safety. So this is the national will that we have to update, and then we talk about the national wills. It will not be a responsibility of one or two or three in people, but it is a combined effort by the complete nation, by complete country. So that is where we are all involved. Second, like sub countries have done to build up capacity that they make products in-house so that you do not have to give your confidential technologies to other people and you do not have to get access to them. And that is where students in the group, the future of the country is called for, because you would be doing this capacity building now where the security of the nations will be in your hands. And how would you do that? Not by competing with anybody, but by collaborating. The phase of technology is so rapid that collaborating is the essence, not competing. So we have to write up to this occasion and then demand transparency as a consumer, as a user, and as a person who knows technology, who uses it, demand transparency. When you take the terms and conditions, accept the terms and conditions, please read there. Do you really want to get your location traffic to an app which is merely giving you, merely delivery put to your doorsteps? Is it required to be given 24/7? Uh, in the area is the adapt, because you cannot run away from technology. You should not run away from technology, but adapt to what is coming your way, because adapting is the key, is the essence by which you will be not able to use technology for your in your favor, but will also be able to contribute to it so that it serve the purposes of security of humanity. So I leave you with question that now we are in a case where the singularity is nearer. So when in these times we are merging with AI, we have a bigger responsibility on our shoulders. We do not only want a system which is secure, but we want a system, an ecosystem which is just, which is free, which is transparent, and which is open sim. With this time,